Alright guys, today we're going to continue with the quotient rule. We're going to look a little bit more into it. Remember, when our bases are the same, if they're raised to an exponent, we can take the top minus the bottom exponent. So sometimes we will have multiple variables with that. I know yesterday we worked on just one variable. And worked with the coefficients, some too. So remember, with coefficients, you're going to divide and then simplify the variable with the quotient rule. So sometimes we'll have multiple variables, so let's get right to an example of that. A to the 5th power times b to the 8th power divided by a squared b cubed, or b to the 3rd power. So if we were simplifying this, we would have a, and our powers on top is 5 minus the 2, and then we would have b, 8 minus 3. So that would give us a to the 3rd power b to the 5th power, right? Now, sometimes when we get a negative, remember, what if we had a to the 2nd power b cubed over a to the 5th power b to the 8th power? Now remember, we still have the base, top minus the bottom, the base, top minus the bottom power, right? So this gives us a to the negative 3 and b to the negative 5. Remember, we don't have any possible way of bringing things to a negative power, but the negative power means that it is below in the denominator. So we would have 1 over a cubed b to the 5th, right? Now sometimes you may even have some negative powers. So a squared b to the 8th power, a to the 5th power, b cubed. So sometimes we have a to the 2 minus 5, b to the 8 minus 3. This gives us a to the negative 3 power, b to the 5th power. So now this is going to stay on top, right? B to the 5th power, we can do that, but that has to go to the bottom in order for us to make any sense of it. All right, our power, or our exponent, has to be positive. Okay? So remember, when we're doing these, that sometimes you'll also have a coefficient. So let's just do a couple more examples with coefficients. So number 4, try this one. 12e to the 4th power, f to the 8th power, all over 8e to the 7th power, f to the 3rd power. First, we're going to divide or simplify our coefficient. So 12/8 we could simplify to, if we divided both by 4, we could do 3/2. 3/2 could be our coefficient. And then we have e to the 4 minus 7 and f to the 8 minus 3. So this is really e to the negative 3, f to the 8th. Does that look familiar? And this is 3 over 2. So we know this e needs to go down in the bottom and this f can stay on top. So we have 3f to the 8th power divided by 2 e to the third power. Do you see what I did wrong? 8 minus 3 is not 8, it's 5. So I have to fix that here too. Okay, so remember you're going to simplify your coefficients, right? We simplified here, and then you're going to use the quotient rule to simplify your variables. Here's one more. (9w to the 8th power z) all over 15w z to the third power. Alright, so if we're simplifying here, 3 goes into both 3/5, so we have a 3 on top, 5 on the bottom. This is really w to the 8th minus 1, right? Remember, if it's just the variable, it's only raised to the first power. Then we have z to the first power minus 3. So this gives us w to the 7th power and z to the negative 2nd power. So this needs to go in our denominator with the 5, and this needs to go in our numerator with the 3. So we have 3w to the 7th power all over 5z squared. Okay, you guys see that? Alright, thanks for watching the video today. I know it will help you on our boom cards.